Herzlichen guten Hallo und willkommen im Wrestling Talk Radio. Es gibt ein neues Interview und zwar One-on-One with Jake McCluskey und Bruce Sterling. Just a little quick introduction for all the English listeners in German. The interview will of course be in English. Interview mit Jake McCluskey und Bruce Sterling, die vor allem natürlich auch durch die GWF in Deutschland Fuß gefasst haben, aber in Europa gerade als Tag und auch Solo ja, eine ganze Menge Hütten abreißen. Und so habe ich mir gedacht, die stellst du mal ein bisschen näher vor. Und deswegen sage ich einfach mal, viel Spaß, enjoy the interview. Welcome to another edition of the Wrestling Talk Radio one-on-one interview series, and today I have with me one of the rising tag teams of the European scene, the British Youngbloods, Jake McCluskey and Bruce Sterling. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
You good?
Yeah, all good, all good.
Very good.
Yeah? To break the ice a little, guys, I guess you think of that question and heard it a lot. Since when are you a wrestling fan, and how did you break into the business? Jake first.
Okay, well, I started wrestling 12 years ago, and been watching wrestling since I was about 6 years old.
That is about 20 years now.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Wow. I heard that a couple of weeks ago that one named you one of the youngest vets in the business.
Yeah, just some random website reviewing a show. They were like, "Oh yeah, he's one of the youngest vets in the business," which was quite cool.
Yeah, but it is. I think turning pro with about 14, 15.
Yeah, I turned pro at 14.
Yeah,
which is a bit crazy.
That's amazing. Bruce, for you, since when are you a wrestling fan and starting in the business?
I've been watching wrestling, God, from a really young age, probably about 4. Sort of always wanted to be a wrestler, but sort of pursued an education and stuff first. I broke into business probably about 19, 20. So I've been wrestling for about 6 years now.
Mm-hmm. And you two guys are best buds growing up together, or what's the relation?
Well, basically, I met Kieran from the Varsity Pro Wrestling School of Excellence, which I was teaching at the time, and Kieran turned up one day.
Yeah.
And kind of been best buddies ever since, really.
It's things wrestling creates, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Which leads me to the next question, and I guess one can assume it could be a long answer, but you decide. Why wrestling, Jake?
Just everything about it, the glitz and glam, just everything. Like, I don't know, really. Just I've always loved it. It's just it's better than any sport or anything I ever watch on TV or anything. It's just amazing.
Bruce?
For me, just growing up watching it, everyone's got something that they're passionate about and a dream that they've always want. Well, mine happened to fall in love with wrestling from a young age, and so everything that I've wanted to do is what I've had my mind set on. If you ask anyone that I was in school with growing up, they thought, "Oh, he's going to grow out of it. He'll grow out of it one day." Haven't grown out of it. It's just watching guys like Shawn Michaels, Roddy Piper, Dusty Rhodes, Stone Cold, guys like that just inspire me so much that it's all I've ever wanted to do.
Which sort of brings me to my next question, Bruce. You're named the Bruce Sterling. I have the question: is it the Bruce, meaningly there's only one Bruce, or you're the best Bruce around, or is it the Bruce from Braveheart?
See, my family, we are from Scotland,
yeah.
So we've got some ties to sort of that sort of our ancestry, sort of to Robert the Bruce, King of Scotland. So that's where that comes from. I'm the Bruce, as in Robert.
So it's not the Bruce, meaningly you're the only Bruce around.
No, well,
around.
It can be. I am the best Bruce around. So,
but because I just realized that me myself and I and a lot of others I guess took it the wrong way because they don't know the Bruce from Braveheart or that it is some sort of Scottish thing, and maybe because it's the Brian Kendrick, I don't know, but that's the relation.
Yeah.
Seemingly they do.
Yeah. It's all about that sort of the Braveheart, Robert the Bruce from Scotland.
Right. So it's done deal from now on. It's not the Bruce, it's the Bruce.
Yes.
Yeah, it depends, right?
Yeah.
Let's start with Bruce for next question. Who trained you?
Who trained me? Mainly Jake.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I turned up at Varsity Pro Wrestling School in Portsmouth, and Jake was one of the trainers there. So Jake had a big hand in training me to wrestle.
And who are role models or people you aspire or take as a, I don't know, you want to be like or take moves from or something like that?
Well, I try and keep it as unique as possible, but for the main guys who I grew up watching is your Shawn Michaels. Roddy Piper's a big influence of mine. Stone Cold. Randy Orton's a huge fan of Randy Orton as one of the best modern day wrestlers,
Mhm.
and Ric Flair. I'm a huge fan of Ric Flair. I think he's the best wrestler in the world, and if he was still able to go now, which I'm sure he is, he'd still be the best.
In his mind, he sure is, and
Yeah,
he's still better than I guess 80% of every wrestler around.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Jake, role models?
Oh, I'd say I don't really aspire to anyone particularly, but like I'm really big on the whole guys that have made it big before they get to WWE. So like Jericho did originally, and like Mysterio, like quite big on the guys like AJ and Finn Balor and stuff that I really appreciate, like the more pure style of wrestling.
Mhm.
But don't get me wrong, I love guys like Macho Man, and obviously Hogan was amazing. Like The Rock. A real big fan of Billy Gunn, which sounds completely bizarre, but
Why is that? No, it's not bizarre. I guess every wrestler around has somebody who likes them because otherwise they wouldn't be around.
just growing up, like he was brilliant at everything, like an amazing athlete, so much charisma. But even like getting the opportunity to work with him as well, like he walks into a room and he's just a superstar. Like everyone turns when he walks in the room, sort of feeling.
Mhm.
Just
I,
so
I,
good.
I just asked him when I started podcasting. I had a colleague with me, and I gave him the part to record an audio introduction to the podcast. And Billy Gunn took the mic and went off like Bizarro Land and got every character he ever personaed into that introduction. And if you're not down with that, I've got two words for you, suck it. And
Yes.
man, oh man.
So
Yeah,
good. So
like a
so good.
pro, I guess. Sort of.
Yeah.
So, Jake, who trained you?
I was trained originally at the FWA Academy by Mark Sloan.
Mhm.
And then I left there and pursued wrestling on my own for a while. Then I joined the Varsity Pro Wrestling School, where I ended up teaching at, and then kind of broke away from that and do my own thing now.
Mhm. Are there goals? I will come to more wrestling-related goals later, but seeing that you wrestled under somebody else, and now you wrestle with somebody else and have trainees, and what's there left to do?
Um, well, for me, like I'd love to start up a training school, but that's more like something I'll do when I retire. I think the goal for me at the moment is to make it as far and wide as I can, and just make a living off of wrestling. Really.
Mhm.
Um, there's so many promotions I'd love to work for, like your Ring of Honors, your Evolves, like New Japan, um, maybe Noah and stuff like that. But obviously, I'd love to end up in NXT or WWE eventually
Mhm.
at some point. But yeah, the plan is to make as much noise as I can as myself, and then eventually open a training school when I retire and have a training school and a gym.
Mhm.
But yeah, so it's all about wrestling, all about wrestling.
And at this day and age, being in 2016, I guess since the 2012s or something like that, the wrestling business is on a high roll.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've been there when it was at its bad points, and it wasn't great. It really wasn't great. So it's nice to see
Just
it's.
money talking wise, I meant so.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah, definitely.
Because when I did the first interviews, people always say, "Yeah, wrestling here and there," but doing stuff now they also include, which I guess everybody thought from the get-go, but make a lot of money,
Yeah,
and it's more possible now than it was back then,
yeah, it's a lot
maybe
more
even five
possible
years
now.
ago. Yeah. Is it more New Japan, be yourself, or WWE, be yourself with big money? Or is it either one?
It's either or really. Like, I'd love to go to Japan and do that sort of thing first before I go to WWE. I'd like to learn everything before I go there, sort of thing.
Mhm.
And just get as much experience as I can before I go. So I'd rather go there as someone they want than like trying to get a job, sort of thing.
Mhm.
So I'd rather make a name for myself worldwide first.
Makes perfect sense. Bruce,
Yeah.
I will ask you the question a little bit later on because it's more of a detailed question then. Outside the box thinking, guys. Favorite Disney movie, Bruce?
Favorite Disney?
Oh God.
Peter Pan, probably.
All right.
Yeah. I just like the idea of never growing up. Peter Pan is always one that stuck with me.
Can I do nerd talk with you?
Yeah.
Peter Pan is the bad guy in that thing.
Really?
Yeah, because and it's a true story. He killed the kids because he didn't want to be alone.
What?
Right.
I didn't make that up. The original idea, which Disney thought of when they created the Peter Pan Disney movie, was a sort of horror story by somebody else, not Walt Disney. And that Peter Pan was a killer who died at a very young age. So he is sort of a ghost.
You're sick.
And yeah. So the original Peter Pan is one of the baddest mofos out there.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
that's why I like him.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, favorite Disney movie?
I'd have to go with
Stop destroying your world with Peter Pan.
well, yeah, I'm worried now, like what I'm gonna say. I kind of liked Aladdin. Aladdin was really good.
I don't have anything on that.
No, oh, brilliant.
Just crush my childhood dream.
Yeah, yeah. Life goals check. Destroy somebody's childhood.
Yeah.
Guys, German Wrestling Federation. You went there in July last year and wrestled an awesome match, which became, by voting of our Wrestling Talk Radio users, second best of the Euroscene 2015. How did the whole deal of working for GWF come to life, and what did it mean for you, Jake?
It was really random actually. We had a message from a friend of ours who is in contact with the promoter of GWF, and he asked us about coming over and saw our match online and basically said, "We want you out here." So that's how it came, really. Just really out the blue.
But it did good things for you, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. It's opened up a lot of doors.
I saw you prior to that, Jake, on Rev Pro every now and then.
Oh yeah.
Wrestling singles and tags, substituting for an injured guy, and it was an amazing tag. I don't remember which was the partner or the opponents, but I remember it was really good. Bruce, I have to admit, only one or two matches on YouTube prior to that match on GWF, because I don't know, it's wrestling. The big companies are easy to get your hands on, and the smaller ones, even in the US, are hard to get when it comes to the UK or Euro scene. Whew.
Yeah.
So is GWF and now even in GFW, so switching the three letters around, is 2015, 2016 the year for you so far, Bruce?
Definitely. Yeah, I've definitely got my name out there a lot more. I've worked for RevPro quite a few times recently, which before I hadn't really. That's the thing. Like, I wasn't really well known. I was wrestling for a bit of smaller companies and not really putting myself out there as much as I should have. And then when obviously a good friend of ours got us in contact with the German Wrestling Federation, a lot of doors have opened up for me because of that. I'm wrestling for quite a few more companies around the UK. Obviously, Global Force was a huge deal, and that's got us a lot more exposure now. Hopefully work with them again in the future. And we recently wrestled for COW again in Birkenfeld in Germany, which is another company in Germany. So yeah, the door's wide open now, and just what I make of it, really.
It's amazing how things work sometimes, especially for Jake, who's been around for so long.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the doors open here, there, and you have to decide where to go because
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
wrestling sometimes is really that crazy.
Yeah.
Which would bring me to the next question: career highlights. I know it's a hard question to answer, but are there, or is that even that it works that good at the moment, Jake?
Oh, career highlights. Big highlight for me was getting to work with Fit Finlay. That was quite a big deal, and getting to beat him as well, which was quite cool. But going out to the German Wrestling Federation the first time and like tearing the house down was pretty cool. Like a really good feeling. But yeah, like this year it's been full of highlights. Really, like been wrestling a lot of American guys and like tagging with different names and stuff like that. It's been really good. So just everything seems to be speeding up, which is it's about time, really.
And we talked about that specific case with getting the crowd into that match, the first outing in GWF,
Yeah.
In the Huxleys. First they started to chant for the ref, nobody
Yeah.
cared, and during that match they totally switched around, and you both were cheered and got standing ovations after it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
And I guess, and now being a tag team, joining the group of 8 tag teams for the next weekend, because this interview is released during the WrestleMania weekend. We tape it prior to it, but your outing is this Saturday in the European Tag Team Tournament for GWF. Any words for the fans being there and your opponents, Bruce?
Basically, whoever the opponents are, we're going to be ready. We're really looking forward to it. Doesn't matter who we step in the ring with. I'm sure that we will tear the house down again. Really looking forward to, we've tagged for Global Force recently, and we're getting into a real good rhythm with our tag team stuff. So hopefully, the fans will enjoy everything that we do. We've got a few tag combos to do. Yeah, I think it's going to be really exciting.
Mm-hmm. Jake?
Just prepare to be excited, really, and entertained, because we've been training harder than ever, and we're looking better than we've ever been, and racking up a good few victories. So people best stay out the way, really.
Yeah.
Where did Jakey and Brucey Liquid Dreams go? Why is it British Youngbloods now?
Liquid Dreams is existent in one promotion.
All right.
Called Fight Nation, who run in England. Basically, that's kind of where we started tagging, because the promoter wanted a boy band, which is really bizarre. And they said that I look like someone who should be in a boy band, and I brought along Kieran, who also looks like a boy band member, apparently. Also, we both have a big love for boy bands, so.
Is that so?
Yeah.
What kind of boy bands?
It's got to be like 80s, 90s.
All right, take that. Backstreet Boys,
Yeah.
NSYNC stuff.
17, yeah.
E17 are where it's at, though.
All right. You never stop learning. So it was no dying of Liquid Dreams, just being able to wrestle elsewhere as a tag, and British Youngbloods were born.
Yeah.
All right. Friend of mine, Toby, created your autograph cards. I think they are amazing. He's a good dude.
Oh yeah, Toby's brilliant.
Very talented guy. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Shout out. I included that Toby money later on. Outside the box. Yeah. What?
He best drop me some money for that reference as well.
Yeah, I guess he will have to next time being around in Berlin. Outside the box again. What do you do besides wrestling, so that people probably get to know you a little better, Jake?
Honestly, nothing. I literally, I live my life just going to the gym and wrestling. Really, that's literally my life. Um, Not really that much into drinking or anything like that. Just I'm quite a boring person. Just obsessed with wrestling.
Which isn't that of a bad thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's just career obsession. Really, it's not such a bad thing.
But that sort of brings me to the next question. I'm very big on psychology and stuff. Does it bother
Yes.
you that it took you so long?
Um,
Because you haven't changed anything you're doing. Just people get to know you now doing what you've done for 10 plus years.
I went through a stage where basically I didn't really put myself out there, and I was held back by a lot of people.
Hmm.
So like this last year has been about actually putting myself out there more and trying to make a living out of it more. Um, it has been a bit. I do have times where it's a bit like a kick in the teeth, really, that I'm 12 years in and still struggling, sort of thing.
Hmm.
But that's life. Like everyone takes a different path of things, and this is my path I've got to take.
And again, it's something wrestling does.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's ups and downs, and that's
Yeah,
just life, really. Everything's full of ups and downs, and
totally.
I'm on an up now, so it's not such a bad thing.
Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
Kieran, outside the box, besides wrestling.
Um, I'm pretty much the same as Jake at the moment. You know, prior I was a big rugby player, um, done judo in the past and stuff like that. But now I'm really focused on just gym work, conditioning myself, and wrestling every time I've got, you know, any spare free time I've got is going on bookings and working. So, you know, I do enjoy like a bit of a drink now and again, but I try not to cut that down. I try to cut that out, obviously, because it's not too good for you, and you shouldn't really do it a lot. But yeah, it's mainly wrestling and in the gym.
Mhm. Listen to the man, kids. Drinking is no good.
Yeah.
What are your favorite promotions you have not worked for, have worked for? Do you watch your own matches? And your favorite guy to work with? Let's start with Kieran.
Me, so what was that? Favorite?
Favorite promotions have worked on and have not worked for?
My favorite promotions to work for are probably, you know, I love going over to the German Wrestling Federation. They're always good to us. It's a very like family environment. That's probably a great one to work for. Global Force was a lot of fun. Rev Pros always put on good shows. Fight Nation shows are getting better every time we do them. Promotions that I haven't worked for. Um, God, Japan, any Japanese promotion, you know, I'd love to work over there and learn a lot from the guys over there.
Mhm.
Um, I'd like to work for Progress in England, um, ICW in England, and you know possibly WXW in Germany. They're quite a big one. I wouldn't mind
Mhm.
working for them at some point, and any other European promotion, and hopefully one day venture over to the States and work over there.
And end up in WWE and earn the big
Yes,
cash.
yes, that's it.
Yeah. The other questions were: do you watch your own matches to get better?
Yes, every time. Uh, the only way you'll learn from, you may not even notice little things when you do the match. So always watch them back because there's little things that you can always you think, oh, that would work better if I did this, or at that point I could do this, and you always find little things that you would improve for next time.
Perfectionist stuff?
Yes, yes, I'm a
Yeah.
big perfectionist.
Jake, same for you?
So what was the first question? Sorry.
You can start with that one. Watch your own matches.
I always watch my own matches. Always. I probably watch them too much. But yeah, I'm. When it comes to wrestling, I'm just a massive perfectionist. Like, um, I'm never happy. I'm never ever happy with anything I watch of myself, and it's kind of a good thing, really, because it strives you to do better. Really.
I have talked to people who don't do I don't know. They are not bad wrestlers, but I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you've got to learn and make
Yeah,
yourself better. Really, like that's what it's about.
listening to advice adds to it, of course, but one has to watch to see if the idea I had in mind worked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's even I get Jake to sit and watch my matches with me as well,
Hmm.
and ask his critique of it, and see if there's anything that he'd do better or work better, and he gets me to watch his as well, because it's a second pair of eyes, to improve yourself.
Of course, and it's a good thing to have someone that does that for you.
Yeah.
Maybe even says that sucked, please stop it, or that was amazing, work on that,
Yeah.
because you wouldn't do.
Yeah, it's like we were speaking to a few guys at a show recently,
Oh,
um, saying you've got big names on the card with you, like guys that are on TV. Like, ask them politely to watch your matches, and guys never do. It's like they're obviously doing something right. They're on TV every week, so why wouldn't you get them to watch your match and critique it? It just
exactly.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and being a pro sometimes, or a veteran in the business, besides Jake, but he adds to it when
Yeah,
he has a specific unique look on the business and was elsewhere where you haven't been or haven't been so far. So he will add to your moveset or to your persona, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
It's learning experience all the time.
yeah. That's it. Always learning.
Yeah. So, Jake, the other question was your favorite promotions you have worked for and have not worked for.
favorite promotions I've worked for probably GWF in Berlin, just because always have a blast out there, always have good matches, great guys, and treat us like family, as Kieran said. Um, Global Force was amazing, and we've got more stuff coming up with them in the future.
Hmm.
Um, well, to be fair, everyone I love working for. Like, there's a few like smaller promotions in England, like Hope Wrestling, but also all the ones Kieran said, like Fight Nation and stuff like that. Like, I just love wrestling. Like, it doesn't matter where it is. Like, as long as I'm doing it, I'm happy.
Hmm. That's one thing Drew Galloway once said to me while he was in 3MB.
Yeah,
I asked him if he still enjoys, and he said, "Of course, I'm
yeah,
doing what I love. Not to the extent I would like to, of course, but getting the money doing it and doing it on big time television. So
yeah. Of course. Yeah,
what's not to like, right?
yeah. It's it. Like when you're a kid, like you dream as of getting a job that you're being paid to do what you want to do.
Mm.
And what could be any better than being paid to be a professional wrestler? Like, if that's your childhood dream, that you shouldn't be complaining at all. You're wrestling for a living. It's brilliant.
Of course. And you mentioned Revolution Pro. We just took Revolution Pro into our podcast portfolio that we're reviewing future and past Revolution Pro shows, starting with High Stakes 2016. And ICW will be Fear and Loathing 8 next week's podcast, because we do
Oh, awesome.
outside the box thinking again. I said a lot outside the box today, but again. It is getting people to know other wrestling stuff. It's not only WWE or TNA or New Japan, which I guess are the three you mostly recognize, but there's
Yeah,
so much good wrestling on the planet.
there's ridiculous amounts of good. Like, there's so like in the last couple of years, there's so much good wrestling come out of England. Like,
Mhm.
it's really exploded, which is amazing. Like, it's brilliant. Like, I was there when there was literally like shows where you have like 10 people in the audience, and you just want to give up, sort of thing. So now it's like a who's been given all the sweets. Like, it's pretty cool.
And I really love that you both mentioned GWF in the high tunes, because my heart is with GWF, as you know, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is family. I sometimes say the F not stands for federation but for family,
yeah,
but yeah, it is what you said. It's
yes,
the big family,
yeah, of course.
and it's cool that you feel like being part of it, not being booked by, but being part of it. That's an amazing thing to hear.
yeah,
Well, that's it. It's like as I said, I think I put a post up online about it saying that it's like my second family out there now. Like I've been told by guys out there, if I want to come out, just there's their house key, come over. Like it's like welcome me into my family's house. It's really nice.
Yeah,
Really,
it
really
is.
good.
It is something.
Yeah,
and rare in the wrestling business.
Yeah, it is very rare. Very, very rare.
Yeah. So the other part, which I included, and I recognize it was too much for one question. Favorite guy to work with and least favorite guy to work with, Jake.
Ooh, I love working Bruce. Always have great matches with Bruce. I think least favorite is a bit of a harsh subject, really.
I guess so, yeah. But there is somebody, and I don't know. Wrestling is like he said that at that point, and people never forget. But it's not a bad thing to say you're not that good, I guess. Is it? I don't know.
There's certain people on the English scene. I'm not going to name names because I don't like to drop names, but that my style just doesn't match with, and for me they shouldn't really be in the business. But that's my opinion. But that's wrestling's full of that, like people who are getting booked because they're friends with people instead of actually being talented. But that's the wrestling business. Like you can see that in all promotions
and everywhere in life.
Oh, of course, yeah. Like you hear so many people who get a new job because their friend got them the job, not because they're actually good at the job. You know?
Exactly. Why should we stop in wrestling, right?
Yeah.
So let's stick to the favorite guy to work with then, Kieran.
Yeah, same question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love working Jake. We always have great matches. We've got great chemistry in the ring. There are some loads of guys that I like working. We recently worked DJZ, and he was so nice to work with. Such a nice guy, very smooth in the ring. Just very good to work. Doug Williams is another one that such a pro, such a nice guy, and learn a lot from working. Guys not to work. I won't drop any names on that, but Jake's right. There's a lot of guys that maybe partially sometimes isn't their fault that they're not that good. They've obviously been trained wrong and then pushed into it too early. And to work with, they're very wooden and not easy to maneuver around the ring and stuff. And it's really dangerous.
Just makes everyone's job harder.
Yeah, it just makes the job very hard. And the fans can tell. If there's not smoothness to it, they can tell that something's not right, and it's just not a nice environment to be in when you've got a guy like that.
And the stupid thing in wrestling is sometimes the guy who does the mistake, so to say. I do the hand gesture mistake because I don't think you can call it that. But the other guy looks bad sometimes, and that is stupid stuff in wrestling. And fans go, "Oh, he's not that good," but they don't realize that actually the other one was the one with the mistake.
Yeah. And a thing that me and Jake have got the into the habit of doing is that we get put against guys that aren't necessarily that good, and then we make them look good by selling for them, so we make them look really good, and then they're getting booked more and more, and that's sometimes guys like us fault, but we want to do that because we don't want to make ourselves look bad. So we make them look better, which then obviously gives them false.
And understandably so, it's frustrating.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, yeah. But, that's wrestling. You get that wherever you go. You're going to get guys that shouldn't necessarily be in the wrestling ring. But
let's switch topic, and I would like to see your faces, but please don't put on the camera because it would screw up the whole recording stuff. Outside the box again. If you could be a specific ice cream flavor, which would you be?
I'll let you take that one first, Jim.
God.
I said earlier I'm into psychology, and it's sort of is. It's not that you want to be ice cream. It's just what you say from now on.
Right.
Ice cream, God. I think myself, I'm more of a peanut butter ice cream sort of person. I like unique flavors. What about yourself, Bruce?
I got Skittles in my head, so I'm gonna go with
Skittles
ice cream.
Is there is there Skittles ice cream out there?
I think so.
Everything exists.
Yeah.
Crazy word. Peanut butter always gives me the mind reaction I do the Scrubs. In Germany it's Blick. I don't know Blick now. Look, upstairs and then peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter, yeah? Peanut butter in a baseball bat. yeah. Stupid.
Gotta love Family Guy.
Let's put the good mood a little down. Injuries can happen at any time. What's your worst injury to come back from, Bruce?
I haven't really, I've been lucky, touch wood, not to have like any serious injuries. Probably, I've probably had a sprained ankle, something like that. Just little tiny injuries that don't take long to come back from. I've been very lucky to work with some safe guys that, take care of us in the ring and stuff. So I haven't really had any bad injuries. Touch wood. Hopefully, I don't.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jake.
I've pretty much had no injuries. Like I've had like bumps and bruises and stuff like that. Like the closest thing I had was when I'd done my back in, but I ended up wrestling the night after anyway. Like there's not really a lot that can stop me, to be fair. But no, I believe in being safe, so I don't really get hurt as much as I do crazy, stupid stuff sometimes, and I like to jump off a lot of things. Um, I still remain safe. I know how to land safely and not hurt myself.
But that is amazing. Being active for so long and being pro for 12 plus years and so on, and don't have a serious injury. I don't want you to have one, but it says that you are really a safe worker for yourself and for others, I guess.
Yeah, of course. I've never injured someone either, so I'm obviously doing something right.
I just had a flashback. Us three really talking for the first time in Berlin. When I saw your match and I saw the lockup, I immediately thought of Hardcore Holly, and I told you that I thought of Hardcore Holly, and right from the lockup you had me.
Yeah.
And I told that people around me watching it, and which they first didn't understand, but I told you afterwards, and then you told me that you have trained with him, and that that my conclusion wasn't that far off.
Well, I'm actually really good friends with Hardcore Holly. Like I'm
Yeah.
in his book and stuff. If you read like the first couple of pages, I'm actually mentioned in his book. But me and Bob are actually really good friends. But Bob's been over in England like a fair few times, and every time I've either trained with him or seen him or something like. But a lot of my my striking and my lockups and stuff do come from Bob because he's a very he's got that sort of reputation where he's hard hitting, say, like, and if you watch any of his matches, anything he does is like hard hitting, and you always knew he was the guy that was going to kick your ass, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always prided myself on that as well. Like, I'll probably hit harder than a few people are expecting, but that's it. Like,
But it's really believable.
yeah,
When you put so much effort into the moves, a guy on the indie scene who recently jumped to NXT is Biff Busick, who every move looks intense, so he's believable.
yeah, of course, and that's it. At the end of the day, what wrestling is trying, the best wrestlers make it believable.
Yeah.
People don't want to see a choreographed dance. They want to see wrestling. They want to see two guys lock up and beat each other up, like in the safest way possible.
Yeah, exactly. you guys traveling around a lot, Jake, for a little longer than Bruce, but are there crazy road stories? Now you traveling, for example, to Berlin by plane or anything. Are there crazy road stories you can and want to tell? Because some stories, I think, better stay where they are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crazy things that have happened. I remember Linsky. I think the audience might know who Linsky is. We did a show with Linsky, and we were driving up to the show, and he can be a bit of a nightmare sometimes. So we were all staying at a hotel, and we decided to grab a couple of fire extinguishers and knock on his bedroom door in the middle of the night and wake him up quite nicely, which was
funny.
very amusing. But we always try and have a bit of a laugh going towards shows and stuff like that. Even like coming to Berlin and stuff, we always try and have some fun. Because you can't take it serious. Like there's no point living your life like a serious person all the time. You got to have some fun, you know.
Agreed, 100%. Kieran, add to it or what he said?
Well, we had when we were working for Varsity, we had Sean Devari and Finley over for one tour.
Oh yeah.
And we always played a game where it's called Tuck Your Chin. You say to the one person, "Tuck your chin." If they don't tuck their chin quick enough, you punch them on the jaw.
Okay.
And we were out in a bar, having a few drinks, and Sean Devari was, playing the game with me. And then he told me to punch Finley. He kept pushing me on. I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Until to the point where Finley just punches me in the face. So I immediately hit him back, and to everyone's shock, because no one thought that it's Finley. He's one of the toughest guys in the business. Everyone was in shock that I'd hit him back. So then Finley hits me again, and we're trading shots in the middle of this bar, back and forth, until to the point he said, okay, puts his hand out, we're finished, and he pulls me in and headbutts me. So that's my road story. We're still, it wasn't in bad blood or anything. It was all good fun. That's my story. It was quite fun.
But those kind of stories on the bigger stage relating to John Bradshaw Layfield or The Undertaker, Finlay being one of those guys in that specific term, gets you under a good wing of those people.
Yeah.
In this case, Finlay.
Yeah. I got on with Finlay. Like I drove him around the whole week, and we were just such good friends after that. And how many people can say they've had a little bit of a punch up with Finlay in a bar, and still here to tell the tale?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Linsky was mentioned. I have history with Sir Linsky as well, because we did the one-on-one stuff face to face with Bill Apter on OneWrestling.com for a while.
Okay.
So he was there for the UK scene. I was there for the German scene. Scott Bell was there for Australia and New Zealand, and of course Bill was there for the US stuff. And we did a couple of video blogs, talking about wrestling worldwide. Good memories, I guess.
Yeah. Nice. Linsky's a good guy.
Yeah. Are there moments when you say to yourself that it was a good decision to become a pro wrestler, or the other way around, that it was a bad decision to become a pro wrestler? Kieran?
I don't have any regrets or anything. I'm happy that I decided to chase my dream. I don't want to be 20 years from now and think, oh, what if I did this, what if I did that? So I've got no regrets and no bad decisions on choosing professional wrestling. I've especially this last year, I've met a lot of people, got to work at some great places, and got to work with some people that I've watched on TV. That's for me, that's such a privilege. Just to work and meet and travel like the world, doing what I love and meeting some of my heroes. Really, it's a wild business. It's crazy.
And are there moments when you say specifically it was a good choice to become pro wrestler?
Yeah, one of the most recent ones was the triple threat match that Jake, myself, and Cash Money Erkan had in GWF. After that match, I was thinking, this is why I love doing pro wrestling. It's such a great match. the crowd reacted to everything at the right points, and it was such a good feeling.
So the goosebumps moments, or
Yeah, exactly.
all right, Jake, for you,
So, are there points
moment,
that I regret?
yeah,
Um,
either or, being a professional wrestler, good thing or bad thing.
it's the best decision I've ever made, really. Like, there's nothing else that I excelled at. Like, at school, I tried different clubs and silly things like karate and stuff like that I joined for like 2 weeks and hated. Like, I think every time I come back for a match, I'm always just happy I chose it, really. And moments like I had a cage match once, and like main evented a show and had like pyro and stuff. It was really cool. And then I win the match, and then Billy Gunn came out without any prompt or anything, and shook my hand and said congratulations. Like, that's what it's all about to me. Like, the it's just brilliant. I wouldn't change it for the world at all.
And specific moments where you said, "Good, Jake, that you made the decision to become pro wrestler."
Just any time really. Like, the first time in Berlin was brilliant. Like, just coming out the back, and everyone gave us a standing ovation out the back as well. Like, that that's why I love it. Like, it's nice to see people are starting to realize after 12 years that I should be at the point I am, really.
Okay. You can guess outside the box again. Favorite comic superhero, Jake?
Oh God, I'm not really into comics that much, if I'm honest. Um, I think the coolest one for me is probably Thor, because he's all jacked up and looks pretty cool. But
And yeah, he can strike thunder. Say in
yeah,
that.
that's it, and just beats people up. Like, what more could you ask for? I thought Wolverine was quite cool as well, but
Mhm.
I'm not really into comics and stuff. I like the films, like, um, I do enjoy like Iron Man and like Batman and stuff like that, but yeah, it's not really something I ever got into.
All right. The question is, of course, pretty near and dear because superheroes and wrestling relates, I
Yeah,
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, many fans of comic books, me being one, is a big fan of pro wrestling. So
Yeah.
that's at some point made the list of my questions during interviews. Kieran, for you?
For me, again, I'm not hugely into comic books, but I like the Batman sort of character. Um, Sort of the double-sided, the rich guy, all the glitz, the glamour, but yet he's a badass
Mhm,
outside of that. And I also, I really like Storm from X-Men.
mhm.
Um, Something about like being able to control the weather and stuff with anger and that. I don't know why, but that appeals to me.
So although you both answered that you are not that much into comics, I will add to it. If you could choose a power from a specific hero, which would you choose? So like vulnerability or God mode or I don't know. Is there anything you would like to have and walk all over everybody else?
um, Sort of. I'm guessing, I'd quite like, either like the control of the the weather, like the nature, or mind control, something like that. Being able to move things with my mind and
Uh-huh.
read people's minds, quite cool.
Yeah, Jake.
I'm terrible. I'd probably just go for superhuman strength or something.
Jake Smash.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I've already got that.
That's the deal. That's the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to do like loads of gymnastic flips as well. That'd be quite cool.
All right. Okay, back to wrestling. Other wrestlers out there you want to fight at all costs, Jake?
Oh, there's so many guys I'd love to wrestle. Like, I'd love to wrestle anyone really. Um, I did a seminar with Finn Balor once. I'd love to lock up with him and have a full match with him. AJ Styles, Triple H, because Triple H is amazing. Just anyone really, like, just anyone in wrestling, like anyone. I just love doing it.
anyone. In German, it's called alle. Everybody. You know? It's always a good thing. Alle, alles, jeden. Always a good choice for answers because it catches everyone.
Yeah.
Kieran, for you?
For me, well, there's one guy who I will never get to wrestle, which is a shame, but that's Mick Foley. He was another one that I looked up to growing up, and you know, the stories that were built up with his matches and the programs he ran with guys, I think, really elevated them. And you know, he's one guy that I would have loved to have like had like a street fight or something with, but build a story to. And another guy, you know, I said it earlier, like I hugely look up to him at the moment. He's the best guy in WWE at the moment. I think that's Randy Orton. I'd love to work with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mick Foley just recently answered one of my tweets in German.
Really?
And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Pretty cool guy, because he lost his ear in Germany, in Munich.
Yeah.
And that's the story he then told on Twitter. Wusstest du? Also it was understandably phonetic was correct, but writing was wrong. But I guess he knew how to talk, so he tried to write it, and pretty cool. And I of course retweeted and took pictures and hey, look, Mick Foley. Anyways,
amazing.
What really cool guy.
Yeah.
We did the Hall of Fame special on him, and we did about 1 hour. We talked about everybody on that specific Hall of Fame class. I think we talked about 1 hour only for Mick Foley, and we couldn't get on for hours and hours. So many stories. What can we expect from the two of you as a team as well as individually, say for the next 5 years, Jake?
The Berlin tag team titles, the GWF tag team titles. We'll have them. But just anything really, like you just see more of us about. I think in the next 5 years we'll both be in one of the major league companies. I think that's not unrealistic at all.
Mm-hmm.
Is it working as a team, want to achieve as a team, or when
at the moment it's more about the team, but like you don't know what the future holds. Like you never know.
Yeah, if either one of us got, you know, offered something by one of the companies as an individual, you know, we wouldn't stop the other one going on and pursuing that, you know.
I guess that's something people would ask you about jealousy and stuff. If the other one gets that to that specific point, would the other one be? It just would have, could have, but is there?
I think it's just
wrestling?
Yeah, it's just wrestling. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people come and go. Like that's just how it is. Like there's times when you probably sit down and look at someone else and go, "Oh, that should have been my opportunity," but it's obviously not meant for me at this sort of time.
Mm-hmm.
Just try not to get myself down about anything like that at all. Like it's not my time. My time will come.
Yeah, head into the ground doesn't achieve anything.
No, of course.
Just
like
keep going.
Yeah, bad mouthing people and stuff like that, and getting angry about other people's achievements it's not worth doing.
Exactly, and it hurts you in the end because you're the one who said something, and it will bite you in the end.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Yeah. Last outside the box question, and it's a pretty weird one. I took that from one of our listeners because we do team interviews for our podcast team, and I now from now on I will include it into my interviews when I have wrestlers on. Are origins orange because of the color orange, or is the color orange named orange because oranges are orange?
Oh God,
what a question.
And pretty hard for me because I'm a little bit of a lispler, and there is pretty I don't know.
Yeah.
But the color or the fruit?
This is kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the color came first. So oranges are named oranges because of the color, I'm guessing.
See, I'm thinking it's because someone saw an orange and went, oh, we'll call that an orange, and then we're like, oh, there's something that looks like the same color as that, so we'll call that orange as well. I think the fruit came first.
And from here on, we could go for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
But I like those questions. It adds to it, not being only about wrestling.
Of course.
It's yeah. But we are pretty much done with the interview. Yeah, we rushed through. I have everything I wanted to ask. So, do you have plugs for Facebook, Twitter, websites, and stuff? I will include that into the description of the episode. So go on. Anything you want to plug, Jake?
I'm on Instagram at Jake McCluskey, on Twitter at Jake McCluskey. I've also got a Facebook fan page if you search Jake McCluskey. For bookings and sponsorship information, it's Jake McCluskey at live.co.uk. Buy my t-shirt, buy my pictures. Just come to wrestling. Like, come and see wrestling and come and see me, and I'll enjoy anything.
Anything?
Anything.
All right. Bruce.
Me, I'm at Twitter and Instagram on _Bruce01. I'm on Facebook. I've got a fan page which is just the Bruce. For booking, I'm Kieran _Bruce at hotmail.co.uk. And again, come to a show that we're on near you. T-shirts, wonderful pictures by Toby, all for sale. Yeah,
Now,
another
Kieran wanted the money as well. You see that, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah, top. A lot of money out of the window.
Yeah.
But they are amazing.
No, they are. They're really good.
Very good.
Okay, guys.
Wrestlers and that out there that need some done, go to him. He's a fantastic guy.
And he needs the money.
Yeah.
And we need our royalty checks.
Guys, thank you for stopping by, for being on the show.
No problem.
We see each other in 2 weeks. And everyone else to hear, it's probably tomorrow or the day after, because Saturday, April the 2nd. It's GWF Berlin Wrestling Night, European Tag Team Tournament, and your first round will be up on that night, as well as many other tag matches and a whole show of German Wrestling Federation action. And yeah, I talked to you then, and I hope you enjoyed your time being on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Feedback always appreciated. If you're out there and have something to say about the interview, just take the comments and everything else we do afterwards. Thanks, guys. Last words for you, and then we're out. Jake.
I don't know, thanks for listening, and follow me on every sort of social media you can. And help me get my rise to the top.
Awesome. Kieran.
Yeah, well, this past year's been great. It's down to all the fans, keep following us. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, keep it going, because, we need all the support, and we appreciate every little bit of support. Come out to the shows. None of the shows can happen without the fans, so, just keep coming, and thanks for everything you've been doing.
Hashtag Moonsault King, hashtag the Bruce, hashtag British Youngbloods.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Thank you.